Hello and welcome back. Another important part of controlling the flow of programs are for loops, because quite often we want to execute the same code for a fixed number of times. For example, we want to execute the code 5 times, or we want to look at all elements of a list or a dictionary or a string or something. In these cases, we can call a for loop. The general syntax is for the variable in a list, do something, or then we can add an else statement to something else, or typically we don't do this. Again, note the indentations which define which part of the code belongs together. So we have the for loop, and then everything that is indented belongs to this part. If we use an else statement, everything that is indented here belongs to the else part. So say we want to run the code a certain number of times, and then we can use the convenience function range to define. The range function is starting value, the stopping value, and the steps. So say we want to iterate between 0 and 5 in a step size of 1, we can say for I, this is then the variable that takes the value in this range, and then this range gives us 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we print the value of this variable I. Note that here that I becomes then the variable with the assignment of the current step. So we can say, in other words, for all the numbers between 0 and 4, so 5 in total, we get the value of I and print it. So if we repeat the same thing and say the value of I is now, and so on, 1, 2, 3, 4. As we encountered previously, strings behave in a way quite similar to lists. We can also iterate over a string. We can say for I in my string, printer, or we can have a list here. In some cases, we may need to end the execution of a for loop early. There are two ways to do this. Break, that exits the loop and returns to the code outside the loop. Continue, do not execute the rest of the iteration, but start with the next iteration and don't break outside the loop. Right. So for example, we can have an if statement. Right. If I equals 2, then we skip the rest of it. And this is what we see here. We loop as we did before, but now we hop over the number 2. Or we can use a break, then we exit the loop. Let's come to a little exercise. Take the Fibonacci series. The Fibonacci numbers are a sequence where the current number is derived from the sum of the two preceding ones. So it's a recursive definition. We can have fn equals fn minus 1 plus fn minus 1. And of course, we need to have the first two numbers to define the sequence. So this is 0 and 1 for f1 and f2. So the first sequence is f3 equals 0 plus 1 is 1. Now, as an exercise, write a for loop to compute the first 10 digits of the Fibonacci series and print the results. It should look like something like this.